This is the Player 4 Podcast. Join us each week as we talk about video games, entertainment, and pop culture, and bring in guests from the Rooster Teeth community. Player 4 has entered the game.
What's up, ladies and gents? It's the Player 4 Podcast. Sound off.
Hello, I am Tristan, aka Shagrazier, on the Rooster Teeth website.
I am Alex, aka Chaos Black 21.
And I'm Malachi, aka Sukikiba. And today with us, we have a special guest.
Hey, I'm Chelsea, also known as Chelsea on the Rooster Teeth website.
What? Why do you get to have your own name?
It used to be Cheez-Its, and it was Cheez-Its for about 15 years.
I really miss Cheez-Its now.
Yeah, and it was like the original spelling of Cheez-Its too, and there was like no one else who had my name, and it was just me. And then I made the silly decision to change it to my name. I regret it.
Oh, well, we can call you Cheez-Its if you prefer.
Oh, that's so sweet. It's salty.
They have a version of that Cheez-It now.
The sweet and salty?
Yeah, they have a sweet and salty Cheez-It. I'm pretty sure.
No. Do not desecrate the saltiness of the Cheez-It. Cheez-Its should be cheesy and salty and kind of gross, and they get stuck in your teeth, and they shouldn't have no sweetness.
You just identified them to a T. I can't believe it.
It's like I'm eating one right now.
Oh my goodness. You tummy from away.
Oh my goodness. Cheez-It, would you like to tell us a little bit about yourself so that our audience can know the Chelsea that we have brought on the show, so they're not like, who is this person? Why are they talking about Cheez-Its?
Sure. So, my name's Chelsea. I like Cheez-Its, long walks on the beach, and pina coladas when it's raining. I also work for Rooster Teeth Productions in Austin, Texas, as their community marketing associate, which is just a really fancy title for someone being a community manager and basically talking to people in the community all day long and solving as many of their problems as I can.
I feel sorry for you.
You gotta own the title.
Wow.
Well, come on. They have to put up with people like Tristan and Alex, you know? You gotta give them some credit.
Oh, come on. They're the fun ones.
The
parents are the scary ones. Trying to explain to someone like what Rooster Teeth means, and their immediately response is like, but roosters don't have teeth. Like, yes, ma'am. I've heard that before.
I think that was my mother's original response.
I knew it.
At this point, you just can't even keep a tally because it would just cover the entire whiteboard. You have to get another one.
Uh-huh.
If I had a nickel for every time, I wouldn't need to work here anymore.
Oh, that would be so nice.
Oh, my goodness.
Well, that's cool you actually work for Rooster Teeth. I was wondering how you knew Joseph and where he pulled you from.
Yeah, Joseph actually met me virtually through Caleb Dinnercore, who y'all had on about a year ago.
Remember that, guys?
It was so
long ago. I like that guy. He was a nice guy.
Yeah.
That was a fun interview, actually.
I know. He's stupidly nice. I miss Caleb.
I always have, whenever I miss Caleb, I can always go online and find the picture of him getting hit in the face with a Frisbee and smile.
I have a Frisbee at my desk, so I remember him. I don't need a photo. Just a Frisbee.
Just the Frisbee.
Is it the Frisbee?
It's the Frisbee.
That hit him in the face?
It's the Frisbee that hit me in the face. I want you to have it to remember me by. It's still got a little bit of my face on there.
Gross.
My favorite memory of him, actually, is we were at a party one night and all kind of inebriated. And he was like, throwing the Frisbee around, and he threw it really hard, and I caught it, and I was like, oh my God, that was such a hard throw. He was like, you want to see a really hard throw? And he's like, spun around and threw it against the fence, and it shattered into like a million pieces.
Oh. I was really afraid that you were going to say, and then he spun around and threw it directly at me, and
that's where I got this scar.
Yes.
We never played Frisbee again, and our relationship wasn't the same, but I still like him.
I have PTSD around Frisbees.
Every time I look at a Frisbee, I just
I remember it dying.
I have to leave the room.
All right. So perhaps we come up with the topics, or do we want to still, welcome her into the group as one of us?
Oh God.
Okay job welcoming, but let's just get another sentence or two. Nothing that our attention spans can't handle. On just the kind of the job, what the
Of course.
What your interaction with the community, how you go between the company and the community works out.
Yeah, so my job is actually pretty closely tied in with the marketing department at Rooster Teeth. So everything that I do is fueled by what the community wants and what they need, also at the same time as what marketing is trying to do for a company. And so I'm here in the middle, tying the two together to make sure that everyone is doing things that the community wants to happen and that the community is receptive to what we are trying to do, or at least understanding that some things that we do are a business decision or that we were guided by what they said, and so on and so forth. And over the years, I've done community management. I've also run every single crowdfunding campaign we've done. And now I'm also picking up customer service on the side.
Wearing all the hats now.
As long as I get to talk to people, I probably have that hat on.
And how many years have you been with them?
I'm actually coming up on my officially at Rooster Teeth as an employee, I'm almost at 4 years. But I actually used to do the books for Rooster Teeth as a client of mine when I was in high school.
Wow.
How long has Rooster Teeth been around?
Since 2003.
Yeah, our 15-year anniversary is on April 1st.
Wow.
So I'm really
Happy birthday, Rooster Teeth!
God.
well,
Dude,
15.
I'm sold.
Yeah. I'm with a parent now.
you almost don't have to claim them legally as yours anymore.
We could file for emancipation.
Rooster Teeth is an emancipated teen company now. It doesn't need to listen to your
Yeah, but they can still be on your health insurance for another 9 years.
Yes. So we're still safe. We have another 9 years to hurt ourselves and blow ourselves up.
And mom still has to pay it.
Yes.
Yeah. Still benefits. All right, let us talk, because Alex mentioned it earlier, and I wanted to hear about this. He told me he tried to see a movie today and somehow failed to watch a movie, and I need to know how this happened.
Yeah, so I haven't seen Black Panther yet, and everybody's raving about how amazing it is, and so I have to see it for myself.
Yes.
So I decided to, my friend and I, we were off today, so we're like, all right, we'll catch a morning movie. We went at 9:40, which is basically when the theater opens. Now, I'll preface this. Before I left the house, I noticed the power went out.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
But it was only briefly. It came back on. I didn't think anything of it. So then I left the house, went to the theater. We get there, we get to the concession, and we hear over the walkie just some gibberish talking. And then the guy in the concession's like, so the power kind of went out, and they have to jump all the screens back on. It should only take about 20 minutes. So we get our stuff. We go and sit down. It's 9:40. Later, we look at the time. It's 10:40. The screen's still not on. There's a whole bunch of kids that I think were at watching the movie for a birthday party, and they were messing with the chairs the whole time. So we had to put up with them. But the entire time, no usher or anybody from the movie theater actually came in to talk to us. The only time we finally got any word was when the mother of one of the kids, I guess, that was hosting the little party, came back into the theater and said, by the way, they said that they're not going to show it anymore because that would throw off all the rest of their times of their movies. So we asked for a refund. You guys should probably do the same.
Oh, man.
Aww.
Yeah. So we had a little discussion with the manager that was on duty at the time. She didn't really seem to care too much. She gave us our refunds, and we kind of complained to them about the fact that they didn't actually come tell us. We had to get told by another person.
Another customer.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That's not cool.
That's a way to not do management.
That's a way to not do customer service, too.
Agreed.
So that's just my little story of my trip to the movie theater that failed miserably in not watching Black Panther. So I still haven't seen it.
It is really good.
I need to see it too.
Whenever you see it.
Hopefully next week.
Good luck and Godspeed.
I'll make sure next time if I see the power go out in my house, just be like, yeah, maybe I should stay put.
Or
This ain't happening. All right, well, I finally understand how it is that Alex can fail at seeing a movie.
Yep.
It does make more sense after hearing a story.
Do you know what caused the power flux? Do you have bad weather down there?
No, it was a perfect day, other than the fact that it was around 30 degrees, so that wasn't amazing, but no, it was clear skies.
Oh, that is odd.
Yeah. Plus, I don't know how fast the screens are supposed to come back up. Apparently, it takes a while. Did not figure at this day and age that it would take a while. But
I couldn't tell you. I've never run the projectors or however it is they do it these days.
I mean, you'd think a movie theater would have, like, backup generators or something, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Backup generators is probably more for places that actually have to, like, sustain foods and stuff that are, like, if power goes out, the things will go horrible.
Yeah. Malachi, how are they going to keep the popcorn warm?
Our hotel doesn't even have freaking generators.
Yeah, but
really?
Where's your hotel located, Malachi?
In Corning, New York.
Yeah. That's why.
Is that not a good place?
No, it's a perfectly fine place. It's more of a in the sticks kind of place, but
it's what you'd call a bedroom community.
Oh,
that's
not the good kind of bedroom.
I've never heard that before. Bedroom community.
They're all retirees with too many kids, and it's a really low income area.
That makes more sense.
Yeah, okay. It's a tough place to live. I used to live there, and then I left for the big city out in Boston.
You got out of there.
Got the heck out of there. But yeah, I worry that some of their like hospitals in that area have backup generators.
Oh yeah, anything that would have mandatory like need to like keep people alive. Yeah, of course.
What state are y'all up in?
New York.
Oh, okay.
Western New York.
Western New York. Yeah.
Not anywhere near the city.
That would explain cold and snow.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm in Missouri.
He gets the lake effect from both Lake Erie and Lake Ontario.
It's actually not too horrible though. If you're in Buffalo,
yeah.
you're screwed.
Buffalo's right on the end of Lake Erie, and Lake Erie is very cold.
Yeah, I have relatives that live in Buffalo. They get snowed in well, they don't technically get snowed in because they're pretty much used to it at this point. But they get a lot of snow that would stop a lot of places dead in their tracks.
We just exist at home now. We don't bother with roads. We've evolved beyond the need for roads. My friends in Boston were like, yeah, I'm working from home today because it dumped like 24 inches of snow on us last night. I'm like, okay. I drove to work through like 8 inches of snow. It wasn't so bad.
Oh my God.
Now, how bad is Austin when it snows briefly?
So December 8th, because I can remember every day that's ever snowed here.
I can count them on one hand.
Yeah, it's like, so it was December 8th, and then it was actually on New Year's Eve, and I was mad because I wasn't actually here for it. But, I know. It doesn't even have to be a snow. Like, I don't think I've actually ever seen, like, snow, like, where it's, like, fluffy and happy.
I love that description.
I was going to dictate it, and then Alex lost it.
I'm a Texan. We don't get this shit.
There's no such thing as fluffy, happy snow around here. We have Texas snow. Texas snow is like Texas cows. It just stares at you and then goes away.
Exactly. Like, it started snowing, and the overpass got iced over, and I remember, like, I got home around 7 o'clock. My boyfriend got home around, like, 8:30, and we walked outside, and everything was, like, white and kind of fluffy, so, like, we made a tiny, like, 6-inch snowman on my car, and then we went inside and came out, like, 2 hours later, and most of it was gone, because it had melted, and then refroze. And everything was iced.
Lots of things were closing at that time too, wasn't it?
Huh?
Everything was closing too, with just that little bit too, weren't they?
Correct. I mean, we usually close down every time. Like, we don't have the infrastructure down here. We may have like half a dozen snowplows, and we actually don't have anything that spreads salt. So what they do is they put it in the back of a dumpster.
And just drag the dumpster.
And it stinks.
Oh no! Wait, is the dump truck like it was recently used, so all the salt just gets the garbage smell on it?
Oh man, dump trucks in Texas will never smell good after they have their first summer.
Oh.
Yeah, think on that for a minute.
I don't want to. Like I said, I spent 7 months there in the summer. It was pretty it was tough. As a northeasterner, it was tough.
Every summer gets easier. I mean, I've never had any problem with it, but from people who moved here, I've heard that it gets easier for them.
We're used to it by now.
I'd like some more snow, though. Like, can I have that?
I'll mail you some.
Thank you. I just want a real snowman.
But your snowman action figure sounds like it was great.
I mean, he was cute, but he didn't have any eyeballs because his head wasn't big enough.
Did he have kung fu grip?
He had like an acorn on his head. Because my tree is still falling acorns.
Gave him a little hat. Yeah. What are those little plastic rings that you iron together into artwork? What was that called?
Perler beads.
Is that it? Perler beads? Those could have been the eyes, I bet.
Oh, they could have been.
Then you would have had
it on too.
And then you could have had a full snowman action figure.
And that melted in an hour.
Poor guy.
He tried.
He tried so hard.
He was so young.
We salute you, snowman action figure.
Speaking about action. So we hear that you play games.
Oh, yes. That is
I didn't tell them anything.
What is this nonsense? Who plays games?
I don't.
No one here plays games. We're not. No.
What's games?
Games are for nerds.
Yeah. I'm going to go play foosball or whatever it's called.
That's a game.
Job.
No, it's a sport, Alex.
Foosball's not a sport. Ping pong's a sport.
I'm going to play that then.
Oh, shit. Oh.
Ping pong is this 3D pong, isn't it?
I'm pretty sure ping pong came before pong. So pong is like 2D version of ping pong, is what you should say.
Ping pong table goes, oh my god, this is just like that game, Pong. They must have copied it and made it into real life. Why are the paddles round and not rectangular? They didn't even copy the game very well.
Why do I get so tired playing this?
Oh, goodness. So,
yes, games.
Malachi, I think you were just about to explode Monster Hunter all over us.
No.
Okay, Malachi, yes. I'm interested in Monster Hunter, especially because the only time I've ever played one was, I think it was Monster Hunter 4 on the DS.
Oh, God.
And I couldn't really get into it.
Oh, God.
Does that come before or after?
Yeah, which Monster Hunter 4?
Oh, God.
What, there's more than one?
You open the can of worms. Just watch our previous podcast.
We had a whole big discussion on how they decided to number the Monster Hunter games because it was extremely intuitive.
The one that released on the DS like a year ago?
Generations? It'd be Generations, more than likely.
Okay, that one. I didn't like it. So, what's Monster Hunter?
Already we got glowing reviews. He doesn't like it. Good luck, Malachi.
You got this, buddy. I believe in you.
But I've heard that Monster Hunter World is different.
Yeah, the biggest thing they did was they made the game easy to pick up for new players in the sense that they kind of do a lot of what new games nowadays do is a lot of hand-holding, walk you through everything, really get you introduced to the Monster Hunter world. One thing that wasn't very intuitive with the previous games was like really being detailed about what to do, I guess. I don't know. I never had a problem with it. The only time I ever had a lot of trouble was when I played Freedom United. I tried for the first time I played a Monster Hunter game, and I used bow, and it took forever to win the fight, and I actually timed out a few times after 50 minutes because I didn't do enough damage because I didn't understand why I wasn't doing damage. But So
It took so long to fight the monster got bored.
pretty much. So that was just a lot of knowledge I didn't have about the game. But anyways, long story short, Monster Hunter World is very intuitive on letting you know what you need to do, your objectives. They made it really easy to pick up, and they simplified a lot of things. Like they gave you all the information you need on a monster. After you fight it several times, you slowly gather information about the monster throughout your gameplay, and you can actually see a detailed layout of everything you need to know, like its weak spots, its what elements it's affected by, and status effects that affect it, and all of that. So
okay, I got to know. Do you still gain useful information about the monster if it kicks your butt?
yes.
Good.
Wait.
So they made it really easy to pick up. They made a lot of things simple about the game, really straightforward. There are a few intricate parts that you won't know right away that you find out later. So there's a little bit of stuff to learn about the game. So it's not like completely all there, which is good.
Yeah.
It's not just putting itself out there for you.
Yeah. One of the biggest things, one of the heavier players I know play, it's actually associate of Tristan's also. He feels the game is actually pretty easy. And he's looking forward to seeing what content they add to the game.
Okay.
So that even if you wait a little bit, there'll be a lot of content they'll be adding in, a lot of things that you'll be able to enjoy later. So all in all, I enjoy Monster Hunter, just the essence of it. I really enjoy how Monster Hunter plays. So I'm kind of biased with it. Like, it's really hard for me to really pick huge criticisms for it.
Yeah.
Have you beaten it?
Oh yeah, I've completed all the story. Right now I'm just grinding my HR, my hunter rank, to be able to fight the highest tier of monster that they've released for the game.
How long was the story?
With the time it takes you to do the actual missions, probably I spent maybe 60 hours. But the story itself would have been, if it's just the story information and just going through it all, you're looking probably 40 hours if you just like sprinted right through it. Because there's a few times where you have to actually raise your rank a little before, or do a couple things that are filler before you move on to the next part.
Yeah. I mean, that sounds like a good, solid game, though.
Yeah, some of the things that people were not happy about was the always online thing. There really wasn't an offline online, which they had in the previous games. But I can't think of the huge complaints about it. I really did plan on talking about Monster Hunter. But the biggest thing I wanted to mention that I'm looking forward to is old classics coming in. He was the big middle finger of monsters in Monster Hunter. Is Devil Joe is going to be coming out March 22nd.
That's in like
8 days.
Yep. And he's the giant T-Rex guy that likes to bust in on your mission and be like, hey, what's going on? I want to eat your monster. And then I'm going to eat you. And then I'm going to go back and eat this monster some more. So he's
a dick.
He is. He's one of the only monsters that can pin you and start gnawing on you to regain his stamina.
So you're just like, well, I can't do anything, and your health is going down, and his health is going back up.
Well, his health's not going up. It's his stamina bar for how active he is.
Oh.
So monsters have an HP bar, and they also have a stamina gauge to depend on like how much they're moving around, sprinting, jumping at you, and they can become tired and fatigued and like stop moving for a brief second before they start attacking again.
And I wish I could recover that quickly.
So I'm looking forward for that to come out. And I believe I seen an article. I don't know, but I think one of the Mega Man crossover is going to come out at that time, which I'm kind of happy about because they have weapons that you can. Or no, you get armor.
So you get an arm blaster?
No, it's for your cat. You get equipment for your cat that makes it look like
my cat gets an arm blaster.
Yep, and
That's awesome.
Please do not give that question any context. It's better the way it is.
The one skill he has will actually play a variety of Monster Hunter or Mega Man songs based on what weapon you're wielding.
So your cat gets an arm blaster and a jukebox to jam out to while you're getting your ass kicked by Devil Joe.
Yep.
This is great.
This is officially the best game ever made.
And Devil Joe has a whole armor set that's going to be released with him and a weapon. So weapons.
I hope the Devil Joe armor set comes with an oversized spiky chin. That's a yes.
Oh gosh.
I can roleplay Bruce Campbell online now.
But yeah, if you want to pick a Monster Hunter game for the first time, and it's also a good on console, I really enjoy playing on a console. It's really easy to get into, like really, really easy to get into.
All right.
Get into. No, it's okay. It's good. So you were telling me about Horizon Zero Dawn soundtrack that you've been jamming out to, Chelsea.
Yes.
Does that mean that there's some Horizon Zero Dawn play on the... Damn it, I was going to say Horizon, but then I realized that was bad.
Boo.
Boo, get off the stage.
Have any of y'all gotten a chance to pick it up yet?
I
ever
don't
speak
have
up
a
on-
PlayStation, so I can't play it.
Fair enough.
I have a PlayStation 1 and a PlayStation 2 Slim.
I mean, the best console in history, don't get me wrong, but not up to date.
I had a PlayStation 3 for like 6 months, and then after my third time repairing it, and by that I mean doing that whole 5-hour take it apart and replace all the heat sinking material and everything, it went out a window.
Oh.
Yeah, it was one of the old
It became
ones.
not worth it anymore.
You rage quit?
I rage quit the system.
Well, if you ever get a chance to re-pick up a PlayStation, so far the PlayStation 4 has had some freaking awesome games in my opinion. I'm also kind of closed in, as I don't know what have been released cross-platform or not, but Horizon has definitely kind of blown me out of the water with how much I've enjoyed it, because you go into it thinking that's like, oh, you know, you're in this world and there's these robotic dinosaurs and like robotic horses and stuff, and everyone kind of looks like you're back 100 years ago where you're living in villages and tribes and whatnot. And then, because I didn't watch any trailers beforehand, but the more you play the game and the more you pick up these data points throughout the game itself, you start piecing together the history and like what happened to us, like our generation in the 2000s and up into the 2060s, where we actually are the downfall of our own civilization. And it's this, I'm still only like a third of the way into it, so I'm still piecing it together. But there's just so much, and it's rich, and it's storyline, and there's a really hard moment that happens with Aloy, who's like the main character you play as, where she has to go through a separation of like her father figure and like trying to find out who she is in the world because she's a little bit different. And yeah, I think I've put in like 25 hours into it so far.
Nice. Yeah, that's what really excited me about the game, because I did watch all the trailers, and I'm like, but it's like primal hunting robots because we nuked ourselves back to the Stone Age. It's awesome.
Yeah. And it's like you're not allowed to use the technology because the technology is like the reason we fell. Mm-hmm. And so Aloy learns how to use it because she's a young girl and she's really intrigued by what she's not allowed to use. And she wants to know what happened.
It's great because it's really really reminiscent of the storyline, or the backstory line, I should say, to the original, the grandfather of modern science fiction, Frank Herbert's Dune, because the preface of the book is, it's the year 10,000 and humanity is a starfaring race, blah, 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 blah. The basics are, we created artificial intelligence. Artificial intelligence realized, why should it be serving anyone? We fought the artificial intelligence. We nuked ourselves and the artificial intelligence into oblivion. And we've spent the last several thousand years rebuilding. And so now when we want to traverse the stars, what would have been done, all the calculations and everything that would have been handled by AI before, are now handled by people who are really high on drugs.
Oh, gosh.
because we can't. It's illegal to build a computer smart enough to do it. So instead, there's the Interstellar Travel Guild, basically, which will contract out their navigators, and the navigators are able to do these calculations because they've expanded their minds hugely with spice. But the point is, none of that's the point. The point is that it's very similar in the lead up, in that we got really technologically advanced, and then it bit us in the ass, and now we went back to square one.
And I'm curious to find out, like, what exactly was the turning point where these machines bit us in the ass for the story. Because I haven't found that out yet.
Skynet.
It's like Matrix and Terminator.
Yeah, Terminator.
I've played the game kind of without playing the game.
What, did you watch a Let's Play?
Is that how one goes to see a movie and then fails to see it?
I have the cat armor for Zero Dawn and Monster Hunter that makes the cat a robot cat.
Oh, that's cool.
that doesn't show you how the game was playing.
That's like saying I have the cat armor that turns my cat into Mega Man. I've played Mega Man.
No, I've been interested in
Dr. Eggbotnik will get you.
I've been wanting to get some more titles for the PS4. I might have to check that one out. I just recently picked up my PS4 because of Monster Hunter. I did have a few other games already purchased because I played
Uncharted?
it on... Wait, I talked over you. I missed that.
Oh, I'm sorry. Uncharted.
Uncharted. Yeah, everyone always says that's a really good one.
Last of Us. I think they're making a revamp of The Last of Us for the PS4. So that's another one.
I can understand the Uncharted because if memory serves, Nathan Drake is voiced by Nolan North, and he's an amazing voice actor.
Yes. And it's also by Naughty Dog. And so it was their four-way, like they went from Crash Bandicoot, then they went to Jak and Daxter, and they went to like real people for Uncharted. And I mean, Nathan Drake, he's the modern day like Indiana Jones. Also, he's hot.
Does he put everything in a museum?
No, he kind of keeps it for himself.
Or sells it to the highest bidder?
Actually, yes.
I found this old thing. How much is it worth?
How much can I get it?
As long as you don't want to take over the world.
So it's got to be worth something.
How much are you going to pay for it? 100. Give me 10 times that. You're set.
Nah, I like it. I should try it. But it's funny not ever having played Uncharted and hearing the rave reviews, and then the more subdued people are like, I mean, well, it's a good game, but when you really break it down, and you're like, well, yeah, you can really break just about anything down to that.
Yeah, and then it's not any fun.
You get action scenes, and you got hunting for treasure, and you got Nolan North. What more do you need?
How about really fun game mechanics and controls that make sense?
Ooh, like jumping over things and kicking people in the face?
Yeah.
There you go. Now I'm in.
Being able to climb stuff?
Link can climb stuff. Sometimes.
Link can climb stuff.
Okay, bad example. I spent most of my time in Ocarina of Time falling off of walls.
Yeah, and also with Uncharted, you don't have a fairy going, hey, listen!
Hey, that was the best part of the game. If it wasn't for her, I'd have missed all those things. She was looking out for my best interest. Like all those times she said, watch out. And then I got grabbed by a horrible monster and died. But the second time, I got through it.
Well, you got to feel bad for her also because she had to keep telling you this shit.
Look over here. I'm looking.
Like, will he listen ever?
Just listen.
With your soul. Oh, goodness. Jak and Daxter, Naughty Dog. We hit all the...
That's back in the day.
Look, I'm sorry, Alex. Not all of us are young and spry like you.
I'm almost 30.
How many years away now?
Just under a month, it's just under 11 months away from... No, a little more than 11 months. It was February 21st when I turned 29.
Oh, okay. I thought you were younger than that for some reason.
No, but I am the youngest.
I'm still not wrong about that. Cute little child, man.
Oh.
Okay. Okay, what's our time at?
35. I minus a few minutes.
Okay, cool. What's next on the topic list?
Something unfortunate, yeah.
Yes. Chelsea. You brought it up. You introduce our last topic.
What was it?
A loss of a great mind.
Oh, so unfortunately, I didn't even notice messages. I don't know a lot about Stephen Hawking, and I feel like that really sucks now that the fact that he's gone and that he was never a prominent figure in my schooling growing up. And now I feel like I've missed out on something that I don't know what I was missing out on. And I assume y'all had a better idea of who he was. And I know he was a theoretical physicist, and I know that he had an incredible mind.
He was a large part of my childhood, but my childhood was dominated by the sciences. A lot of why I'm an engineer now. But another part of my childhood was stargazing and learning the constellations and all about the heavenly bodies, learning about the solar system, the cosmos. In fact, cosmos was pretty much the definition of my childhood. The series by Carl Sagan that aired for a few years prior to his death. And Stephen Hawking had a huge impact in the field of cosmology, or the study of stars and planets, galaxies, the solar system, the universe. So it was a name that came up often and frequently. He is most notable or most recognizable probably because he, around, I think it was like 23, 24, 25 years old, developed this regressive, degenerative neural disease of the neural system that made it so that he couldn't walk or even talk or help himself in any way. And he had been, a very active college student, teenager, just suddenly reduced to a wheelchair, barely able to breathe. And the miracle is that they were able to keep him alive and then beyond that give him back a way to communicate, because he was already a brilliant scientist when this happened to him, when he suddenly became incapable of taking care of himself, which is a tragedy in itself. But then they were able to give him a computer that would read his eye movements so that he could communicate. He could use it to select words, and then they gave it an automated voice so that he could speak. They actually put out a film. They produced a film that was all about his life up to and just beyond the point where he
when he got sick.
Well, yeah, it went a little bit beyond after he became completely immobile. And it was, I gotta say, it was a well done film. I thought that it was handled reverently, and it was very powerful emotionally to see, the person that they had portraying the young Stephen Hawking and how just energetic he was. You're seeing him as he starts his college life, and he's sprinting between classes, and he's excited to meet with the professors afterward, and going over his thesis and all of the theories he has about how the heavenly bodies are moving in relation to one another, and then you start to notice how he'll stumble or he'll slur words. And go and he has a fall, so he goes to the doctor, and that's when they discover that there's a problem. And you're just watching him slowly deteriorate, and it was really powerful. It was really heartbreaking.
Do you know what the title is, Tristan?
The title of the film?
Yes, it's called The Theory of Everything.
Was that it?
Yes, and it kind of plays off actually doesn't play off of that, but then his book that he's most famous for is A Brief History of Time.
Right. I knew The Brief History of Time. I did not. I apologize. I did not recall the name of the film, but The Theory of Everything tells this story of his most important thesis and how it's interwove with his disease. So if you're going to see anything, if you're going to consume any media about Stephen Hawking, that's actually a really good one.
Okay.
What's another really cool thing to think about is, even with his, powerful mind and the situation he was put in, he didn't completely cave and lose himself in depression or anything to a point to where he didn't continue doing great work.
Yeah.
Yeah. They gave him 2 years to live, and look at how long he lasted. Like they were saying, most people that have his disease don't even last 2 years.
Yeah, he passed away at what, 76 it was, correct?
Yeah, 76.
So he did an amazing job.
That's incredible.
I actually didn't know how much he was involved with astrology or cosmology, because it makes sense, though. He'd be applying his physics knowledge to the way the universe works, which is cool.
It was actually from Hawking that we got our current theory on black holes and how they function. So everyone who believes black holes pull in everything and then crush it down to a singularity, that's Hawking's theory on black holes.
Oh.
But they also radiate.
Yeah, there's a very powerful radiation that comes from them. So if one were to form too near to us, it could be very bad.
Oh, they also move, too. One could pass by.
Yeah. So all of that, like I said, he studied and developed theories on how stars and planets and then entire galaxies and these things in between were formed, decayed, died, and moved about during their existence. That was the body of his work, was studying the stars, cosmology.
Oh, that's really cool.
And what day did he pass away?
Pi Day.
Pi Day.
Which, if you think about it, is a mathematical thing, too.
Yep.
3.14, and I'm just going to stop there.
There you go. So, we salute you, Dr. Stephen Hawking.
Yes. And if you don't know anything about him, please look up stuff about him. He was a very big man.
I mean, he was a very small man, but I get what you mean.
Yeah.
Never too late to learn something new about someone.
Oh, yes, definitely should not let his achievements go unlearned.
No.
So we've saluted Stephen Hawking and a 6-inch tall snowman in this podcast.
I will not be called a hypocrite.
Everyone is saluted, big and small.
You will not soon be forgotten, action figure snowman.
Is there anything else?
Sacrifice.
Is there anything else you want to add, Chelsea? Or
any cool things Rooster Teeth is doing coming up here?
Something really cool that is, it's going to be commonplace for those of us growing up with TV, but we're actually going to try and do a linear live stream this Friday. So it's going to be probably 8 hours or so of programmed content where you can just there's going to be a schedule and be I'm going to tune in and watch this thing at this time. And it's literally going to be being able to tune on the TV and watch something off the cable network.
And this is
not on demand.
Showing here on the Rooster Teeth channel.
Is it just this Friday, or is it going to be more kind of be a commonplace thing as we start going forward every Friday or something?
Right now it's just a test for this Friday the 16th.
Mm-hmm.
Got to get that user feedback.
Yeah, we're doing it on the new SVOD site, and it's open to everyone, and there's going to be chat going on, but I'm excited because they're going to pull out old stuff from the archives and stuff. So the original Rooster Teeth shorts.
I love those.
I know.
They have aged well, and I still go back and watch them.
My favorite is Fat Bernie. Fat Bernie is funny, and he doesn't look like that anymore. So I like going and watching those old shorts and remembering where he came from.
Oh, yeah. It's so odd looking at some of them and just feel wow, they've changed. And then others are no, they haven't really changed that much.
What do you mean Jeff looks completely different? Never mind. But I think that my favorite short was Noted to Death. I love it's Matt Hullum and Joel, as Joel keeps trying to give Matt notes about changing a script for something that's already been shot.
Oh, yeah.
That was my favorite.
I also like the button, whatever that. I think that's the thing.
You didn't even let me finish. If I press the button again, do I get more money? Okay.
Yeah.
Let's see if we can get them before they even get through the door.
Yes.
That's golden era for me.
I think I gotta go with the sex dogs one.
Oh my god.
Chris.
Yes.
The lighting.
Chris, there are dogs having sex.
Yeah, but the lighting. I don't care about the lighting.
Just shoot it again. And remember, Bernie is the subject. Now the dog is trying to have sex with Bernie. He's crying. I know, it's really hard to work with.
I hope that goes off well.
I have one question pertaining to community wants, needs, and feedback.
Yeah.
We got SVOD, and it seems to be working pretty well. You know, a couple hiccups and bugs here and there that they're working on notwithstanding, it's going. It seems like it's closed beta went well. Its open beta is continuing to go well. I want to know if we're going to see a similar revamp to the rest of the community site.
Hell yeah, you are.
Now I can die happy.
And
Got confirmation.
I can't give away a whole lot, but I can let you know that you will see it this year.
Okay. Now I can die double happy. Thank you.
And like people like me and Barbara were involved in the development of that part of the aspect of the site in almost every step of the way. And it's going to be a little bit different, but I think it's going to be really fun and really easy to get a lot of people back together in one location to have fun with each other.
Nice. That's the kind of thing I like to hear.
Yes.
If I can say, without overstepping myself here, one thing that at least those of us here seem to have all kind of felt similarly about was that with the current iteration of the site, what we currently use, we find it very difficult to disseminate knowledge about anything anyone's doing to very difficult to grow your audience.
Yeah.
You know, if Joseph has a friend who does something cool, I won't know that it's going on if I'm not already following that person. But the previous iteration of the site used to have, hey, you had your feed where it'd be like, so, you know, your friend watches this person and this person did this.
Yeah.
And you'd be like, oh, that is cool. Maybe I should be following that person. But without that, like, degrees of separation being closed by that bridge, there's all this stuff going on and people are talking about it, but if only the direct friends hear anything about it.
Yeah, unless you actually would like get tagged in it or something, you had no idea it would ever exist.
Right, exactly. And one of the really cool things, it would be like, your friend commented on this or your friend liked this, and you'd be like, well, what's so cool over there? Oh, I like that too. And then you would hit like, and even if you weren't following them, you liked it. And then anybody on your feed, you know, who was friends with you would be like, what are they liking? Oh, that's cool. And suddenly, instead of having, you know, your 10 friends know about it, their 100 friends know about it.
Yeah.
And that was a really cool way of disseminating knowledge that they moved away from, but we never got a comparable replacement for. So I guess what I'm saying is I'm hoping that there will be some sort of system that allows for that kind of spreading of knowledge.
It's definitely going to be able to be more shareable with each other, that you're not going to be in your own silo of friends, and it's not going to be like a constant echo chamber.
Yeah.
That there's going to be the room for discoverability of each other and new things that will keep piking your interest.
Okay, that's good to hear.
Yeah.
I definitely look forward to that then.
Trust me, I know the current website. Bit of a
It's
dumpster.
pretty. It was a visual improvement. I'm not going to say everything about it was bad.
The site was gorgeous. I mean, it was very clunky, but it was pretty.
Mm-hmm.
I like the original site.
I miss the karma system.
I miss all the achievements.
Oh, yeah. I had actually almost forgotten about that. I had completely forgotten about that.
I had a first 150,000K badge.
Well, congratulations to
I
you.
think I was in the first, 2 million.
I was in the first 2 million. Because even though I was watching RVB on my DVDs way back in 2004, 2005, I didn't join the site until 2012.
Tristan.
I'm sorry.
That's okay. I did the same thing.
I'm probably the worst offender.
I made up for it by writing lots of journals and friends and then becoming a guardian at RTX.
Yeah, Mal, you came to the site, in this iteration. You weren't even in the old iteration.
Yeah, it was a bit. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
All fans of Rooster Teeth are welcome. There will be no judgment based on when they became fans.
I started when I started doing the podcast, and that was year ago, year and a half, almost 2.
I do think that was kind of funny that all of us introduced ourselves by our handles on the Rooster Teeth website. And Malachi would be like, I'm Malachi. I don't have a website account.
Oh my gosh.
The important thing is that hopefully everyone will come on back then.
Yes,
Oh, wow.
that's what I want to happen. Because, I mean, I love everyone, but it is hard keeping up with everyone, like, on Discord, and got some people on Slack, and some people only use Twitter and Facebook, and I just want us to all be able to chat in one place.
I can agree with that.
Yeah, that would definitely help your job a lot too.
Oh, I'm just talking about my friends. I'm not even.
Oh, I know, but just job in general, because you got people probably trying to contact you on Twitter with their problems about stuff, and then on Rooster
slide into them DMs.
Yeah,
Slide on over.
So,
All right. That is definitely good news. I am very happy to hear that. Thank you for the day brightener right there. So I think we are coming to the end of our time together. I'm very sad about it.
We covered a lot of things today.
We embraced all of the tangents today. So I think that we'll leave off by letting Chelsea remind our audience where she can be found if they have pressing need to make a new friend.
So, once again, I'm Chelsea Atkinson. I'm Chelsea on the Rooster Teeth website, and I'm Chattykinson on Twitter.
And we will have links to those in the description of the video when it goes up on YouTube.
yes, we will.
So, again, Chelsea, thank you very much for being our guest tonight and sharing some laughs and fun and some amazing information with us.
Thank you so much for inviting me. And it was awesome getting to chat with y'all tonight. And it was really nice meeting you, Alex and Malachi, even if it was just virtually. Tristan, I'm pretty sure you and I have met at RTX because your voice is really familiar.
Well, I will be there again this year, so probably room 6 in the ACC Tech Guardian.
Yes.
Come visit me.
I shall.
And
If I see you there, I'll call you Cheez-It.
Thank you. I'll have Christmas ornaments with me, and I'll make sure to give you one.
Ooh.
I hand out Christmas RTX ornaments.
I love it.
Oh my gosh, I'm going to be searching now.
I am a little sad that RTX isn't happening in July because you can't sing the song It's Christmas in July.
I know. Last year, the thing was people had to come up to me and tell me happy RTXmas. And then, I guess it still works, but it's not as funny.
Yeah, I still think that RTX is my favorite holiday, even before Christmas. So.
Agreed.
All right. Thank you for being our guest. Thank you all for coming and joining us tonight.
Time to get the flip out of here.
Get the flip out of here. Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Hashtag goodbye.
Goodbye.
What do you mean, goddammit? You always wait until he says hashtag and you jump the gun.
Not saying it.
I completely forgot. I was like, just have to make sure Chelsea says goodbye. Then I can say goodbye.
Goodbye.
I see how it is now. I'm not chopped liver or anything.
Nope.
It's like we've lost our Alex all of a sudden. He doesn't wait for the hashtag goodbye now, and when I assigned him his favorite voice acting role, Caboose, he didn't want to do it. I don't know what's going on anymore.
I can't do Caboose with long lines.
You can do Caboose with short lines?
I can kind of do it. It's really not that good.
Oh my god.
We all appreciate it.
I need to hear something.
Okay, hold on a second.
Talk about kittens with spikes or something.
No, that's a long line.
Here, let me give you that line from the Ghostbusters film again.
No. I'm trying to think of a good line. Oh my god. Okay, hold on. I'm trying to think of the actual line.
He's just shy.
I like me.
Okay. I like me. You could do high fives, making sandwiches, the important stuff.
I love Caboose. And that was adorable.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome.
my dad always said.
Why buy the cow when you can get the milk for free?
Hey, Brookie, did you just call? No, dude, I think he just called her a slut.
Thanks to the following patrons for making this video possible. Support us at patreon.com/player4podcast.